Dian Fossey was born on January 16, 1932. She grew up in San Francisco with her mother Catherine and her stepfather Richard. Even from a young age, Dian always had a passion for animals. Growing up, she dreamed of one day becoming a veterinarian. Throughout her childhood, she was a skilled equestrian. Dian graduated from Lowell High School in 1949. She went on to attend the University of California, but what she was initially studying did not inspire her. So she transferred to San Diego State and majored in occupational therapy instead of pre-vet courses.
After finishing her education, Dian dreamed of going to Africa. In September 1963, Fossey was finally able to go to Africa. She spent all of her life savings to make the trip happen, and even took out an $8,000 bank loan. Dian traveled to Zimbabwe, the Congo, Kenya, and Tanzania. She met wildlife photographers Alan and Joanne Root, who were currently filming a documentary. Dian tagged along on one of their trips into the wild and fell in love with the gorillas.
While in Africa, Dian also met Mary and Louis Leakey, who were both archaeologists. Back in the U.S., after her trip to Africa, Fossey met up with Louis again. Leakey suggested that since Dian had become very interested in gorilla culture, she could undertake a long-term study project with gorillas in Rwanda. 8 months later, Dian arrived in Kenya to start her project.
Dian continued her research and established the Keresok Research Center in the Volcanoes National Park in Rwanda in September 1967. She worked on-site at the camp and carefully studied the great apes. Fossey worked to preserve the mountain gorilla population. In 1970, to further gain qualifications, Dian attended Darwin College and earned her doctorate in 1974. Fossey stood strong in her beliefs against poaching and defended the mountain gorillas. She was particularly fond of one male gorilla, Digit, whom she had met in 1967. Unfortunately, he was stabbed and killed by poachers in 1977.
At age 53, Dian Fossey was found hatched to death in her cabin in the mountains of Rwanda in December 1985. The exact culprit is unknown, but many believe poachers murdered her due to her tremendous efforts against poaching.
Dian Fossey took great efforts to protect gorillas from harm. Some people would believe that her efforts were too violent. Her efforts to protect these gorillas came from the grief and anger of her gorillas' deaths, like Digit, Uncle Bert, and Machos by hunters.
Fossey gained the reputation of practicing dark magic as one of her many efforts to scare away poachers. When Fossey caught a poacher, she would interrogate and humiliate them. She was also found to have tied up hunters and even threatened to kidnap one of their sons. Her actions to preserve the gorilla's habitat and their species from extinction is what many believe caused her death.
Dian Fossey is a hero for mountain gorillas, and her legacy will continue for years to come.